Hi, this is continuing my answers to the questions that were asked of me in my 500 subscriber video. I finally have time, as I've said, that finals are coming around and times are opening up. Actually, I only have one more final tomorrow, and that's in an English class where we have to do an in-class writing assignment. Yay! But so dealing with these questions, the next one from earlier when it was Black Chimp and Beware the Lizards, the next one that follows is AncientAtheist. Very cool guy, very good videos. Now, he asks what set off my fascination with evolution. Well, I've been interested in science since the earliest. I can remember a book that my mother gave me when I was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And I had it for years until it literally fell apart. And it was about the universe. It talked about the planets, about stars, about supernova, and it had pictures from Voyager and it had pictures from Viking, and these were brand new pictures at the time. I mean, I think they had just been sent back like the year before for the Viking photos. Kind of dates myself there. So I've always enjoyed science. I've explored many of the spheres of science, from archaeology to physics to chemistry, a little bit of oceanography, of course a lot of biology, you name it, I've looked into it. And but my most current incarnation of why I'm actually studying to be a biologist, so I can actually become a teacher in biology, is because of creationism. I'm kind of the antithesis to them. I see what they do, I see the claims they make, and I see the ignorance they literally breed. As I point out, in videos from Brock or from Venomfang X, original and 2.0, any of those guys, and just comments I've made here and there on other creationist videos, that they literally breed ignorance. And, well, I want to be out there doing my best to correct that. So I've gone back to school, and it's evolutionary biology that I'm interested in, because evolution seems to be the contentious pivot point for all this. So that seems like the best place to be, right in the middle of it. So that's why it's evolutionary biology, why I'm doing fairly well at understanding it and describing it to people, especially when I deal with these videos from creationists. Okay, let's move on to Tattoo Skin 72. I don't wear my glasses when I do these videos because the glare off the computer is bad, so if I squint, I can just make out his name, because I'm blind, very blind. So Tattoo Skin 72, really cool guy. Reminds me of some friends I had when I used to hang out in North Park here in San Diego, which is where the gay community tends to hang out. And they were really cool people down there. I don't hang out there very often now. I just don't get around to getting down there. And plus, most of my friends have moved away to like San Francisco, or some of them moved to New York. It's kind of a real turnover community down there. A lot of people come in and then leave and go elsewhere, or at least it was back then, and it may have stabilized nowadays, but like I said, I don't go down there too often. He asked if I see that, if it's in my view that the current fundamentalism and the explosion of fundamentalism is evidence that religion is in its death throes. Well, I don't think so. Religion is a very robust meme, to use that terminology that brings mental constructs into the concept of genes. Is a very robust meme. All of them are. They have elements in them that make people want to continue staying in them, as well as passing them on, and infecting future populations. Religion really does prey on fundamental aspects of what we want to be. So, is it the death throes? No. Is it a reaction to the fact that secularism and atheism exist? Well, yeah. Secularism has always existed in some way or another, in some place or another. Recently, obviously, it's been in the Western cultures, where secularism is a huge thing. You know, our governments are secular, our educational institutions are supposed to be secular, our lives are supposed to be secular, in public, while in private, as religious as you want or as non-religious as you want. Of course, there's some areas in there where it's not always true, like public lives. A lot of people still wear their religion on their shoulder or on their sleeve, and forgetting that the people around them may not believe in the same thing they believe, yet often assuming that they do. So, in that sense, there's not so much an uprising from the fundamental side, but evolution, what I spoke about earlier, definitely has driven the fundamentalists, especially here in America, into fits. Because if evolution is true, which it is, it contradicts many of the fundamental aspects of their religious belief systems. And when you threaten someone's religious belief, that's when they get antsy, and that's when they get dangerous. And then, of course, recently, in the last decade or two, the rise of open atheism in places like America. And I'm mostly speaking about America here, because, well, that's where I live. So the rise of open atheism here in America has really lit a fire under these fundamentalists, which is why you're seeing apologists and, you know, people pulling the apologistic approach exploding in places like YouTube and on blogs and here and there. You get a couple books written by a few people that become bestsellers, like Hitchens and Dawkins and I forgot the other guy's name. I just had it right there on the head and the tip of my tongue. And what happens? Well, they're now seeing that there's people out there that are willing to fight them against their religion, and well, now they feel they have to fight back, even though really atheists are simply saying, or most of these atheists are simply saying, look, we don't believe in the crap you're selling, and we want to let other atheists know that they don't have to hide, and that they can come out and be themselves in public, and they shouldn't fear being, you know, any kind of reprisal from the religious community. Yeah. So, fundamentalism being the death throes of religion? No. Being a reaction to people like me and people like you and other atheists, or just people who agree that atheists have the right to speak, even if they're not atheists themselves. Yeah, it's a reaction to that. As for outside of America and dealing with like Islam, well, there's a much more complicated issue. I mean, I've studied Islam long ago. I've read through the Quran long ago. Do I remember much of it? No. So I'm not going to really speak on it. But there's appears to be so many different levels of why there's fundamentalism in Islam and why it's taking the route it's taking in terrorism, that I really don't even want to even step in that quagmire. So I'm just going to leave that issue for other people that know far more about it than I do. Okay, so that's 2 answers, and I think I have two more, maybe 3, that I'm going to answer. So that'll be it. So I'm going to put links to these people, to Ancient Atheists and Tattoo Skin 72, in the side, so check them out. They're really cool. And I know it's kind of a boring video, but I'm kind of a boring guy.